We have here Igbokwe, Publicity Secretary of the APC chapter of Lagos State. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. You're the current chairman of the Lagos State Wharf Landing Fee Collecting Authority. I'd like to know from you why there's such an agency in the first place. Yes.
It's a law. It's Lagos State government law, and certified by the Office of the Attorney General and Federal Ministry of Finance a few years back. That money is just for local governments. It doesn't, not a dime enters into the coffer of the federal government.
But there's already a tax collection body in Nigeria.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You need money to fix issues. You know, you need money to cater for almost 25 million Lagos. And like I said, that money goes to just about 1,000 naira per 40-feet container.
You don't see this as multiple taxation?
What do you mean by that? Nigerians are not paying tax. Nigerians are not paying tax. How many people pay tax in this country? You think they're up to 2%? We don't pay tax. If you have watched the presidential campaigns in other climes, especially in UK, Europe, it's all about tax issues. It's all about tax. People don't pay tax here. You see somebody, you will throw a party of women anyway. When you go to the tax, not pay 500,000, tax. So it's nothing. Just because those roads, the roads in Lagos, especially roads leading to the ports and getting out of the ports, inflict, colossal damage roads, whether they are federal government or state government roads.
But aren't there custom excise duties that are also being paid for?
To federal government.
Okay, this is just Lagos.
To federal government. Okay.
Advise you for the position of chairman of the Wharf Collecting Authority?
Yeah, experience, capacity, capability.
It's not political road.
For what? For what? The thing has been existing since 2009 or 2000 or so, when it was when the law was signed, when it was signed into law. It was signed into law, and somebody was there. I was in another agency now. Before I was posted to it, just like you can move. What was political reward and do my work here? How much are they paying me? How much are they paying me?
To tell us, sir. Okay, anyways, Ali Dangote did announce a few weeks ago that Nigeria loses about 30 billion a day to the lockdown of their Papa war. You should note that he probably patronizes the wharf more often than anybody else in Nigeria. What are your reactions to this? Is this exaggeration on the part of Dangote?
No, you just say about corporate social responsibility. I've been on it for years. How to fix that Papa wharf leading to the premier ports. It's been in the books, on the tape for years now, but they are doing the work now. It's not only that, it's working in tandem with the Nigerian firms. Another biggest player in that corridor, and they were able to raise about, I think, 1.5 billion to fix that road. And the other side of the port, I mean, canal analysis is a noble area. How we got to this sorry pass is what I cannot explain, because this is the ports where billions were carted since 1999, but they forgot to fix the road, and the mess is what we are seeing today. You have
been chairman of the Wharf and Fee Collecting Authority. What have you done in your capacity to alleviate the maintenance?
Well, I may not have the capacity. I mean, about money to fix the place, but I brought it into the picture. I've been everywhere, but my office is domiciled in Jara, and I bring the situation of that road, the horrible situation of that road, on the picture every other day. Written, I've sent photographs, I've drawn government attention to that place. What's going on today is the pressure, not only from me, from other people who have interest in Apapa or who are doing businesses in Apapa. So collectively, we are able to bring attention of the government to what is happening in Apapa. And I'm delighted that Apapa is receiving attention. But I want the same attention to move to Tinkanaland. Even if you cannot fix it, as it were now, let's have some palliatives, make it more treble. So when you close, because as I speak to you now, only few vehicles, few trucks are moving into Apapa through Wharf Road. Tinkanland axis, you cannot move. So every day we are saddled with trucks. Even coming to this place, trucks are almost on Western Avenue. And it will keep on stretching. They cannot enter. They cannot come as road. Like I said, how we got sorry pass is what I can explain. But it's not that problem, had been there for years. But I think it's receiving attention now. All we are saying they should quicken, put energy, add momentum to do something. If you cannot do the Tinkanaland here to help what's going on Wharf Road, provide palliatives. Get just beg any other company to provide palliatives, so at least it will be more trouble. Why they are fixing the other? When they finish that one, they face that one, because two of them cannot be grounded at the same time. That's what we are suffering now. The traffic is affecting everywhere. That you can't enter. Another vehicles cannot. For me to get up, I have to go through my two, enter through, if the place called Amukoko. From Amukoko, I will not enter Jegula. And Jegula, I will enter the military barrack on barracks in Apa, and then access my office. To get into a problem, to get out is a problem. But somebody, when you see a big problem like that, know that somebody did not do his job. That's what we are suffering today.
In an interview with Bayo Kinloye, you described Kano as a kid. Is it possible you're underestimating the problem the way the federal government did, thereby contributing to the rate at which it is magnifying?
Well, it's a kid. Why I say it's a kid? Because what I can sit down and see, if it climbs the biggest, the highest building in the world, or mount, the highest mountain in the world, you would not see it. I don't want to talk about it over, because the struggle was based on committed ideology or anything. He didn't even consider this Igbo people he's trying to represent. He didn't consider the investment. He didn't consider that Igbo as a tradition don't settle in one place. In one fell swoop, this young man, I don't know where he's coming from, I don't know his pedigree, I don't know his education, I don't know what he has done before, just came. And the only way you feel that you can bring Igbo people into the picture, or for you to stop the marginalization, is to begin to abuse everybody, is to begin to preach hate and hate bigotry. And he ended up creating millions of enemies for Igbo people across Nigeria. You
write about ethnic on the part of Igbos and hate speeches that true online.
Yes.
But we cannot try to eliminate a problem if we don't address what caused it in the first place. You have never spoken out to criticize on the part of maybe the Fulani men attacking the Igbos, which would lead to, online hate speeches that you talk about. It's
not true. These Fulani herdsmen, they have been there for more than 100 years. Why now? Play that we are too wise to degenerate such level of, there's no way you can compare the activities of Fulani herdsmen with IPOB. IPOB killer. IPOB potentially dangerous. IPOB has no agenda, only to abuse and preach hate, and think that people will start fighting. The Nigerians will start fighting, and in that process you just move. No. We have investments across Nigeria that runs into trillions. That it's not something you can just close your eyes and destroy overnight. and people are well traveled. I can give you 4 reasons why you not stand, given my experience and a commitment to Nigeria and my commitment to where I'm coming from. But I don't talk about Biafra, I talk about Igbo. I'm a Nigerian, pan-Nigerian, proudly, Nigerian. And I am doing that to protect our interest. Separation is not the way to go.
Last week, a free medical outreach by the Nigerian military in the southeast caused a lot of public outcry and commotion. And there were Easterners who did say that the military was vaccinating, giving children killer vaccines, and the news was everywhere. What are your reactions to those events?
I felt so bad. It's terrible. I know people can tell lies, but this lie, pricked my conscience. At once, I felt ashamed of how some people can tribalize issues. I see this is the first time the military is carrying out this kind of medical. It's done all over the world. And for you to, I saw this stampede and said, my question is, who did this to our people? Who did this? Who did this to our people that have to degenerate this to this level? But I don't understand what is going on. Since the loss of 2015 elections in 2015, there have been crises. Part of Nnamdi Kanu's, trouble is because of loss. They are still weeping. They are still very angry. Yes. And we told them, I want to finish, told them to play better politics. That's what. Play better politics. Don't begin to tell us about, we begin to suffer what we call persecution complex, or selfish sense of superiority, marginalization complex, leadership complex, all kinds of complexes, because you cannot play better politics, you want to engage. Just like we are telling them, I say, look, I think that they not get 8 years. APC, talking about APC where I belong. And in 2003, that position was vacant. Are we positioning ourselves, given the obvious and painful truth that we have not been able, no man has ruled this country since 1960, since 1970, the war ended, just about 47 years now. Because you need to play the politics. If I want to be the president of Nigeria, Igbo people may vote for me, but I'm not going to be the president of Igbo, I'm not going to be the president of Nigeria with just only our votes. Other people must vote for you. They're thinking about that. When you call names and abuse people, who will vote for you? How many votes do you have in the Southeast? How many states do you have? How many local governments do you have? So you need other people. You need to be the president of Nigeria. You need people to vote for you. You need to canvass. You need to belong to the party. What we're doing now, okay, the election is coming up November 18. In Anambra State. Anambra is a key state in the Southeast. Too powerful, economically powerful, very well educated people. But we are not playing a better politics. You're domiciled with one particular town union meeting called APGA. Every 4 years you talk of APGA. You have not moved beyond that state. You have not created a presidential candidate. So you're only concerned with that place. Now, if they marginalize you at the center, it's not anybody's fault. I was reading somebody yesterday and he said, I will always go for the zebras for food. And they will not stop. Because the lion is hungry. The lion gets its food. And the food must come from the zebras and some other small animals. And the lion must also feed her own children. So you don't just be sitting and say, okay, everything is okay. That people will carry the presidency to your boss. If we do not play better politics, you will remain perpetually in opposition at the end of age. And that will be dangerous for our people. Because politics is very important. Last we teach in London School of Economics that politics is superior to economics. Because If I have political power, I can influence anything. Even economic power, I can take it. And people must understand this. And that's why I play into this, and let's come in. Play into politics. For you to win an election or become the president of Nigeria, you need to first enter a widely accepted politics and work with other people. Once you abuse Hausa and abuse Yoruba, you've lost it. Because this is where the votes are. And that's what we told them in 2015. In 2015, I was a lone ranger. I was telling them, I said, look, 4 regions have merged. So if you like go and vote 150% beyond mathematics in Southeast, 150% beyond mathematics in South, you go nowhere. You go nowhere. Because we know the number of registered voters. We understand the statistics. But I told them, nobody can lose election in Nigeria. So look, there's going to be card reader. It's going to be scrutinized very, very well. So if you like, and this thing came, they refused us. That the game is over. We are getting towards 219, 223. All I want my people to do is to come out in 2019 and support a northern president so that they can have their 8 years. That's how trouble started. After the struggle for democracy in 1999, because I was involved, since I left university in 1985, I have been in this struggle to bring democracy to Nigeria. In 1998, the presidency was on to the South. And the turn of the South were because Abiola election, they killed him and saw the struggle. We struggled and struggled. They killed Abiola, killed Abacha. We lost it. They gave it to PDP, gave it to the Southwest. That's why Olufalaye and Obasanjo came out. There was no other person. Obasanjo was there for 8 years. And when Obasanjo finished, the power went back to the North. Yar'Adua came. Yar'Adua ruled only 2 years and died. What would have done is to allow Jonathan, who was his vice president, to complete the 2 years. And then you vote another so that they can have their 8 years. Jonathan don't go. And contested in 2011 and won. And trouble started. People have made nonsense of the equation we had on the table that they agreed to key into. He contested and won. Our people saw them